Alright guys, welcome back to Rusted Up. This is my personal Jeep. This is a 1995 Jeep Cherokee Country, which means it's from the day. It had all the little bells and whistles that came as an option on them. It does have a lot of different things that I have done to it. I have actually owned this Jeep for about 8 years now. Overall, it is mostly an off-roading toy now, as well as my daily driver. However, there was a point where it was actually just the daily driver before I put all the lift and stuff on it, but we'll get into that in just a moment here. So this is old school style. It's a 95, so that means it's nobody won. All of the interior panels have actually stayed the exact same, minus me adding switches and stuff like that throughout it. I do have an upgraded sound system, which we're going to try to show you in a little bit if I can open my rear hatch, but I have no promises on that. Let's take a step out here and we'll look at everything that I've done to the vehicle. So as I'm sure you can see, it is lifted. It does have a 3-inch Rusty's off-road lift kit. It was installed probably about 6 years ago, and I have changed the shocks 2 or 3 times since then, so she's all good to go in that aspect. I do have underneath here, I have a steering setup. It is considered a 1-ton steering setup, which is also from Rusty's Off-Road, along with an adjustable track bar, and that is also from Rusty's Off-Road. So basically all of my suspension components have been from Rusty's Off-Road. I have not had any severe issues with them. My only complaint is these outer tie rods wear out within about a year, maybe 2, depending on how much off-roading we do. And as you can see from the Jeep, it does a lot of off-roading, so they normally don't even last me a year. So let's pop this hood and we'll show you the engine bay. It is nothing fancy except a giant mess of wiring. So I do have the 4.0 motor, and it is backed by the automatic AW4 transmission. It does have a 242 transfer case in it. A lot of Jeep guys prefer the 231. My personal preference is a 242, only because that you get a 2-wheel drive, a full-time 4, a part-time 4, and then you get your 4 low. My personal preference. I also have a lot of upgraded wiring in this. I have obviously a winch, so I have wiring running to the battery for the winch. I have lights on the front, and I actually have a light hidden in the back as well that points backwards. So that's why you see all this cluster of wiring. I also, to match all of the electrical that we have going, my sound system, the winch, and the lights, I have a yellow top Optima battery that is a deep cycle made for such things as the winches and the lights. I also upgraded my alternator. It is factory Jeep alternator for this Cherokee is a 90 amp. I have put in a 136 amp, and that came from a 1998 Dodge Durango. The mounts are the same, the plugs are the same. The only difference is the diameter of the body. So I did end up having to shave down the bracket that actually holds the alternator to the block. Other than that, it's a direct switch over. Oh, actually, and the pulley, I am incorrect. The pulley you have to swap because it is a 7 or 8 rib on the Durango, and these are a 6 rib. So other than that, she works real well. The bumper actually was a custom bumper job that we built for a Cherokee. It was actually built for a different Cherokee, and I ended up purchasing it off of the guy that we built it with. It was in response to the fact that this has actually been totaled twice now. The first time it got totaled, I hit a guardrail in this corner and it crunched the corner in. I hit it at like 45 miles an hour while we were off-roading one time, and it did not end well. The Jeep still drove, so we were missing a headlight and a corner light and this little piece here, but we went off-roading for about 2.5 hours afterwards just running the bumper lights that I had at the time. So it was a little bit of a fun time. The second time, it actually got T-boned right here, and it shoved everything in. It totaled my axle. It actually snapped my 1-ton steering tie rod. It broke everything. I spent 3 months. I rebuilt it. I already had an axle. I already had all the stuff. They actually warrantied a lot of my stuff from Rusty's. No problem, no questions asked. They just delivered it right to my house. I didn't even have to return the old stuff to them. So that was a bonus for working with Rusty's as well. This guy has been my Jeep for around 8 years now. I bought it when it was completely bone stock. I took it on several trips. I took it to Missouri, I took it to Ohio. I did all sorts of stuff with it. And then I sold my off-roading Wrangler, had a little bit of money, and decided it was going to be a really smart idea to put a lift on it because the suspension was bad. Well, I'm a solid off-roading guy, and I just happened to have 33s, and once I put them under there, they never came off. And then it became an off-roading toy within about 2 weeks. I am currently running the Goodyear Wrangler MTR. It's Kevlar sidewall lined. These ones are 32 by 1150s. The original tires that I was running they were the Wrangler Tracs. They were 33 by 1250. I do run a 15-inch wheel. It is a factory size wheel. I just have an aftermarket. I believe they are Krager wheels from Summit. They are offset, if I'm not mistaken, a negative 3.75. So they bring my wheels out a little bit, and that's why they stick out from the body there. When we put the 33s on, we realized that we were going to have to cut, and instead of really caring what the Jeep looks like because of what it's been through and what I planned on putting it through, we just kind of made some slits and bend them up to make little fender flares. And I always get asked, why don't I put real flares on it? Well, check out some of our other videos and you'll definitely see why I really don't care about fender flares. All right, so we've gone over the tires a little bit. I am actually currently running the factory axles from this Jeep, which in this one is a Dana 30 high pinion in the front, and in this it is a Dana 35 in the rear. I have had no issues, mostly because I've kept it under 33-inch tires. I also have the factory gears inside the diffs, which currently are 355s. It is my daily and a play toy, so didn't really want to go any different on the gearing just because of how I drive and how I off-road. And in case that ever fails and we do end up getting stuck, we do have that 9,500-pound Smitty built mounted up there that it'll pull some stuff. We pulled a pickup truck across a road one time, dry pavement. It was great. Other than that, I mean, the body's not very special. She's got some carpet coming through. I got a hole in the floorboard. Got some rust holes here and here. It is 26 years old, and it has spent its entire life in the Rust Belt, so I am not surprised, and that is also why I don't really care. But let's see if we can actually get this hatch open, and I'll show you that sound system real quick. Oh boy. I don't think that's gonna happen. Oh. Nope. Alright, well, we're not even gonna try that because then I'm gonna have to fight to get it closed. Good luck seeing through there. I wiped this off before I came in today. Believe it or not, all the glass got wiped off. So yeah, and the rear bumper is actually a custom build as well. We were getting a little bit happy one night. We were drifting around, and I may or may not have sideswiped a pole and ripped the entire back bumper and smashed the taillight out. So we built this bumper in about 2 hours. It is just 2x2 square steel welded to each other with a 2x2 pieces stacked on top of each other there. It takes a beating. It hits some trees. It's pretty strong. But just wanted to come back and give a quick run through of Mobius, seeing how you guys see him a lot on the channel, and now you guys can know exactly what is in it and what's going on when you see him. And that is a basic walk around of Mobius, and I just wanted to come through and kind of explain what this guy has and what I've done to it over the years, so that you guys are aware as you see it creeping in the background of all of our videos, because, you know, he's kind of just our emotional support Jeep. He's there all the time for us. But don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
I'm so fat.